You see, now this time I can say that I called it. With Wattrel, I really couldn't since it was so obvious that everyone knew it was going to happen. With Hatenna though, it wasn't quite so obvious, hence why I can confidently say that I was right. My prediction was very much on point. Doubly so since she not only evolved, but she also learned a new move. Now I have to say that I liked this episode much more than the previous one. Both featured the second Pokemon of a main character evolving. However, this episode had a better Pokemon co-star in Annihilape, who I like a lot more than Capsakid and who did more than Capsakid, allowing it to leave a bigger mark and impression. This episode was also a lot funnier, and Hatenna went beyond just evolving by both learning a new move and even getting to battle. Sure, admittedly Wattrel evolved in a more serious situation that gives its big moment more weight, while Hatenna's was more comedic and thus less significant and impactful. Though this also made it arguably more entertaining, which is a plus. So let's dive deeper into precisely what made this the better evolution episode. But before we do, what exactly happened in this episode? Let's recap. In this episode, Liko and friends search for the one not from this world, since they are all eager to learn more about such a mysterious Pokemon. They soon run into a trio of lookalikes down to the Pokemon they have, who are scared, injured, and exhausted. After Hatenna tends to them with heal pulse, they reveal that they also attend Naranja Academy, and they were on their way to complete a test. However, they got lost in this forest and they ran into a terrifying Pokemon who proceeded to chase them. During their ordeal, the strap of the bag of Liko's doppelgänger broke, and she fixed it by cutting and using a vine. Realizing that the doppelganger squad encountered the one not from this world, Liko and friends are eager to go to where they had their horrifying encounter. But the lookalikes are too scared to go back, so they run off while warning Liko and friends to do the same, which they don't. As they get deeper into the forest, fog sets in, and soon, the one not from this world appears before them, Annihilape. It immediately goes on the offensive, even shattering rocks and trees. Realizing that they are in danger, Liko and friends decide to retreat. To do so, Floragato and Quaxly use Magical Leaf and Water Gun respectively to distract Annihilape, so that Fuecoco can land a hit with Flame Charge, which incapacitates Annihilape long enough for them to escape. Unfortunately though, they escape one dangerous situation to end up in another. They are soon surrounded by a bunch of Mankey and several Primeape who are, in their natural state, angry. Liko and friends realize that their fury stems from the fact that a tree that is likely important to them had a vine cut. Sound familiar? Yes, it was the very same vine Liko's doppelganger cut. Something Liko and friends figure out, and since they look like the actual culprits, the Mankey and Primeape understandably direct their anger at them, which they manifest by throwing rocks. Terapagos almost takes a hit, but Hatenna stops it using what I assume is confusion. The Primeape soon step into the ring to fight directly, though Floragato, Fuecoco, and Quaxly have no trouble defeating them with Quick Attack, Disarming Voice, and Liquidation respectively. Things soon take a turn for the worse when Annihilape, who Liko and friends incorrectly assume is some sort of guardian deity for the Mankey and the Primeape, appears. Annihilape unleashes a barrage of Shadow Balls that Floragato, Fuecoco, and Quaxly counter together. Annihilape then goes in for some close combat, disrupting its opponents, allowing it to land some point-blank Shadow Balls. While Floragato, Fuecoco, and Quaxly attack both separately and together, they cannot stop the Rage Monkey Pokémon. As the battle rages on, Hatenna notices that the Mankey are worried about something across the nearby river. Soon, Annihilape's rampage leads to some friendly fire, angering its fellow monkey who gang up on it, leading to a big fight. Hatenna informs Liko and friends about what she saw, which allows them to realize that there is a bunch of berries on the other side of the river, a food storage belonging to Annihilape and Co. The vine that was cut is how they got across to reach it. Without it, they cannot reach their food, which explains their anger. To resolve the situation, Liko and friends all work together to build a bridge using vines and wood that stretches from one side to the other. This allows Annihilape and Co. to reach their berries again, which delights them greatly. So much in fact that they stomp around energetically, which makes a giant boulder from a nearby hill fall to them. Blaming each other for this, they get into another big fight, which leads to two Primeape evolving. I guess they landed 20 Rage Fists in the two scuffles. Liko and friends finally realize here that Annihilape evolves from Primeape. The three Annihilapes soon beat up everyone else, and their fight evolves to the point that everyone around is in danger. Hatenna tries to calm them down but can't. Eager to silence them for good, she evolves and learns Brutal Swing, which she uses to hilariously and easily wreck the three Annihilape, ending the fight. She then heals them up. Now that everyone is settled down, they all partake of the berries together. The episode ends with Liko telling HATTREM that she hopes that they will continue to get along, them continuing their way to Naranja Academy, and HATTREM realizing that she no longer fits in the hood of Liko's jacket. I love that the Pokédex states that HATTREM will brutally silence anyone that exhibits strong emotions near her by pummeling them mercilessly with her braids. Hatenna evolved after being exposed to the intense emotion that is fury, and as HATTREM, she brutally silenced the Annihilape by pummeling them with her braids, even learning Brutal Swing, which makes her beat down literally brutal, and it's a move that she uses with her braids. You really couldn't ask for a better situation for her to evolve and think to do post-evolution. Great attention and application for the lore surrounding her. Extra points because she glowed briefly moments before her evolution, indicating that she was ready to do so, she just needed a little extra push. Using confusion to save Terapagos and help with building the bridge, coming face to face with the strong emotions of Annihilape and Co., which allowed her to understand them, voluntarily, willingly providing first aid to the doppelgangers, and refusing to retreat into her Pokeball when strong emotions were overflowing like she has done several times before, were all things that not only show that Hatenna has grown to be braver, bolder, more courageous, but they are also things that allowed her to gain even more experience and grow even more, leading to her eventual evolution. While I would say that perhaps Wattrel had a more defined narrative arc for its evolution, Hatenna certainly did, learned, and accomplished more in order to pave the way to evolution. Though I will say that it also feels like Hatenna evolved too soon. While it took Wattrel 38 episodes to evolve, it took Hatenna even less at 31. However, I feel that overall Hatenna did more, had more screen time, more focus, more development, and more growth than Wattrel did, making her evolution feel more earned and deserved despite it taking less episodes. They are both in the same boat when it comes to moves though. It feels wrong that they evolved without a full moveset. Wattrel evolved knowing only 3, and Hatenna did so with only 2, which of course is even less. Heck, technically she only knew 1 move since while she obviously knows Confusion or something like it, since Liko has never called for it, nor has the move been referred to by name, officially she only knew Heal Pulse. Evolving with just 2 moves is crazy, with 1 even more so. Also, I don't remember if Hatenna had ever used Confusion prior to this episode, meaning that she both learned and revealed a new move in this episode, adding some much needed extras to her moveset and value to this episode as far as developing her goes. Beyond Hatenna, it's a little disappointing that the doppelgänger served such a simple purpose. I was expecting something more hilarious and crazier. Like I said before, Annihilape is one of my favorite Pokémon from Generation 9, so getting to see it debut in Horizons was very exciting, especially since it caused so much havoc with its uncontainable rage. Better still, we got 3 Annihilape by the end, and we even got to see 2 Primeape evolving. Moreover, I love Primeape and Mankey too, so it was nice to see them as well, especially since there were so many of them. Plus, getting to see all of them fight each other, not just once, but twice, was extremely funny. There was also a lot of cool and exciting action in this episode, which is always a plus. Finally, if you have been watching my videos for a while, you should know that I'm big on Japanese voice actresses. If you didn't know, well, now you do. This is all to say that, fun fact, Roy's doppelganger was voiced by the lovely Ayane Sakura, who also voices Orla. Glad to see that she is still getting to delight us with her wonderful voice even when Orla is absent. Though I think it would have been hilarious if the doppelgangers had been voiced by the same voice actors as their counterparts, just with a different tone, pitch, etc. that made them sound distinct but still familiar. Also, it's disappointing and bizarre that Rhyme did not appear in this episode, considering that she was supposedly looking for Annihilape. Though since this ended up being a Hatenna episode and Roy is the one that met Rhyme, her absence does make sense. So yeah, overall this episode was marvelous. Hatenna's excellent growth and development, the fitting way in which she evolved, the hilarious outcome of said evolution, the ways in which she grew and improved further, and the Annihilape family's funny, rage-fueled shenanigans all made this a very enjoyable and thoroughly exciting episode that in many ways eclipsed the previous one, at least for me, making it the better evolution episode of the 2. I cannot wait to see how HATTREM will behave going forward, and hopefully she will get her battle debut in a trainer battle with Liko in command soon. But that's the review and the video. Please let me know what you think of this episode in the comments below, and click on the links on screen now to see my reviews of the previous 3 episodes. I will see you over there. Thank you so very much for watching.